Hey, good day, everybody. Catch the Torah wave. Welcome back to our Genesis class, live from Jerusalem with Rabbi Chaim Goldberg of the Noahide World Center. And as always, we're joined by many people from around the planet in the Zoom meeting with him. And it's always an exciting class. I really enjoyed last week's lesson, really getting in depth into the Torah, and I'm sure today's going to be just as beautiful. So let's just jump right in and see how the rabbi's doing today. Shalom, Rabbi. You are live on the air. Happy Hanukkah, and we hope all's well in Jerusalem.
Yes, good evening, everybody. We started Hanukkah today. It's always a joy. This a very unique, I will call it a holiday. Okay, of 8 days that we have. Good to see you, Wendell, also. Okay, whoever with us, Bart. Second time today. Yay! So Hanukkah is a very nice, a very pleasant holiday with the family. And we started it today, and usually it's finishing very fast. So I'm trying to grab it. There's also something that is driving all the world crazy tonight. It's the final football, after a month. The first day was done when I went to Canada, if I remember correctly. I flew to Canada, and the first day that everything started, all this competition started. But okay, fair enough. We want to learn, the world. I will say it like that. I think that, let me say something really serious about it. The world decided to be much more secular in the last 200 years. Now, the truth is that in the last 60 years, the spirituality came back to the world. But on the other side, you can't avoid, or you can't say that the secular is not a part of the world. Even though real big secular people that in the beginning of the 1930, 1940, they said that all of the world is secular. Around the 2000, when it came to 2000 and they were already much older, they said that with all of the respect, the world is more believing than secular. But on the other side, because the world decided to put this spiritual side of God aside, so the world looked for something else. Now think about this for a moment. This team of a country that is playing soccer, football, is something that is giving to the masses something more in a spiritual level. Okay? They are relying on them. They're thinking or they're feeling that they are representing them. It's like in a moment we're going to see this in one of the midrashim. In a moment we're really going to see this, okay? That it's something like these, our sages are saying that each country have some sort of an angel of idea that is holding the country. And we see this, especially in places or in times like the Mondial, okay? Where each country is coming with their own, identity that is also related to others. Ali said, good to see you. From the South America, Messi, the Messi side. You did a lot of mess in the world, with this Messi. So, long time no see. Good to see you. So I'm saying, if you think about this for a moment, it's something that is holding suddenly the country. Now think, for example, the Morocco football soccer group that came, I think, to stage 2, 3 or 4. I don't know exactly. Okay, I didn't look for everything that happened there, but they were proud for the Moroccan people, but also for the African people, and also for the Arab people. See, suddenly it's bringing the nations to a situation where they're feeling, no, they're representing us. And it's giving a meaning, okay, a spiritual meaning to something that is happening in this world. So it's true that it's only more or less people 24 years old, more or less, this is the people that we're speaking about. On the other side, it is also something that is representing something much higher, much bigger for the people around, and this is why it's managing to catch so many people in this world. So, a few words about this situation of the football competition that we just finished after a month. And now let's dive inside to the Torah and learn a few important things. Really also good to see you also. So let's share the screen, just a moment. Okay, we came to the stage that we saw that Jacob went to Haran. We spoke about the word Even, okay, that he prayed there and he took the stone, and the word stone in Hebrew, we spoke about this last week. The word stone in Hebrew is the containing two words of father and son, that we have the relationship. It's some sort of a ladder, okay, between the generations. There is a generation, the generations are step by step. It's not disconnected one generation to another. And there he dreamed, and we don't really know what was his dream. In a moment, we're going to speak about a message that he got. But before that, we have that he dreamed. This is very important, and we remind ourselves that also in the Kuzari book, the world is working, or the dream is something that is starting to give us the gap to go out from the logic world. There's something else that we can start to realize here. So this is the thing of the dream. Those are things that we spoke last week, okay? And now we have a message, okay, from God, where God suddenly is going to promise him a land, Persian in this land, the Hebrew land, not only the land, but also that he will have seeds, that he will have continuous to his generation. And God that wants very much to bring spirituality to this world, to bring the holiness to this world. You remember, we spoke about the seventh day, that God brought the seventh day to the holiest, or he is demanding us to bring this world to the holiest place. But God is speaking with Jacob about building up a nation. Okay, so please, Dan, if you can read verses 12, 13, 14, and 15.
Oh, scroll back up. I can't read 12.
Yes,
okay.
yes, okay.
12. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the ground, and its top reached to the heaven. Behold, angels of God were ascending and descending upon it. 13. And behold, the Lord was standing over him, and he said, I am the Lord, the God of Abraham your father, the God of Isaac, the land upon which you are lying. To you I will give it, and to your seed, and your seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and you shall gain strength westward and eastward and northward and southward, and through you shall be blessed all the families of the earth, and through your seed. And behold, I am with you. I will guard you wherever you go, and I will restore you to this land, for I will not forsake you until I have done what I have spoken concerning you.
So we have it. It's amazing to think about this. God wants very much that this place will be holy. And the way of doing it is to build up a nation in this land. This is what's written down. And this is the way. How does God is saying it? And you shall be blessed, all the families on the earth through your seeds. The same words that God gave to Abraham. You will be a great nation in this land, and this is how you're going to bless the world. This is the way of the holiness in this world. It's not only by few special people, but also mainly through the nation. Fair enough. And now I want to go inside a bit to the thing that Jacob saw in a moment, but there is one thing that we must understand, that Jacob, he's waking up and he's saying, wow. Please read for a moment, verse number 16.
16. And Jacob awakened from his sleep, and he said, Indeed, the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it.
I thought till now that God is only in heaven. Suddenly, I'm realizing that God is in this place. Wow. This is something new for me. I never thought that God will come to this place here, in this, specific place. And I'm learning another thing. Please read verse 17.
17. And he was frightened, and he said, How awesome is this place! This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven.
This is, I said it more than once, okay? This is the chimney to the spiritual side, to speak with God, that God is coming here. This is a place. And we spoke about this, that it was, this is a place where the Temple Mount will be built up later on, and all of the nations that will try to destroy it, and they managed twice. But this is a place where it's happening. So let's go back for a moment, and let's see exactly about this ladder. And I have a question. The first thing that you see, if you're asking me, where is the place of the angels? Here in the earth or up in heaven? What do you say? Simple question.
Both places.
Yeah. They started here. A moment we will see in the verse. It's a bit weird. But the place of the heavens, where is it? The heavens, the angels, where is it? Where is the home of the angels? It's here or in heaven?
In heaven?
In heaven. I don't see any angels here. Okay. And if someone is saying to you that he saw angels, send him to the doctors. This is something he is, he took maybe some sort of, how do you call it? All sorts of drugs, We don't see any angels here. Okay. The angels are not living in this world. And this is where the question is coming. How come they started from going here up there and then coming down? What is the message here? It's a bit weird what's written down here. It was supposed to say they're coming from heaven, coming to Jacob and going back to heaven. How come they are starting from here and going up and then coming down? How come they are with Jacob here in this world? What are they doing with Jacob here in this world? So we have a few, I will say, explanations to understand this ladder, okay, and what exactly Jacob is seeing. And I will say the first, first of all, we will see Rashi for a moment. Rashi, the commentator of Rashi. And then I will say two by heart, and then we're going to read in the Midrash the last one, okay? And the last one is, as you can understand, is the most, I will call a shaking one. So let's go step by step. So first of all, let's start with Rashi. Rashi is saying like that. Let's show Rashi. Okay, please read. Ascending and descending, please.
Ascending and descending, ascending first and afterwards descending. The angels who escorted him in the Holy Land do not go outside the land, and they ascended to heaven, and the angels of outside the Holy Land descended to escort him.
We have two sets of angels, okay? In the Holy Land, there is, I will call it angels in number A, I will call it. And those who are outside, the angels number B. Let's call them like that, okay? When I'm flying from Israel to Canada, so before I'm going, on the airplane, the angels of Israel are staying here, going up to heaven, and other angels are coming with me, helping me. This is basically what he's saying here, Rashi. And this is why, first of all, they went up, and then only the others went down. We see this again when Jacob is coming back. Okay, let's jump for a moment, a few chapters. think it's here. We'll see this just again. No, another one. When Jacob is separating from Laban, his father-in-law, we have, please read verse number 1.
1. And Laban arose early in the morning and kissed his sons and daughters and blessed them, and Laban went and returned to his place.
Fine. And now we have 2 verses. Okay? Please read for a moment verse 2 and 3.
2. And Jacob went on his way, and angels of God met him. And Jacob said when he saw them, "This is the camp of God," and he named the place Mahanaim.
Mahanaim in the Hebrew word is 2 camps. Okay? He's finding or he's meeting 2 camps. Who are the 2 camps that he is meeting? Please read here. And angels of God met him.
Angels of God met him. Angels of Israel came to greet him and escort him to the land.
Mahanaim.
Mahanaim
in Hebrew is 2 camps.
2 camps, one of angels outside the land who came with him up here, and one of angels of Israel who came to greet him.
You see, the same thing. No? When he's going out from Israel, the angels of Israel are going to heaven, and the angels of outside of Israel are coming to go with him. And when he's coming back, the angels of the outside of Israel are going backwards to the heaven, and the angels of Israel are coming to go with him inside to Israel. And this is the first, I will say, it's not only a technical explanation, but first of all, we need to realize, to understand that it's working like that. I will call it, there are different levels of spirituality. And the spirituality of Israel, of the Israel land, is much higher than the spirituality of the rest of the world. Therefore, the angels are supposed to be in a just way. Now, this, what I said here, that the spirituality of Israel is different than the spirituality of the rest of the world, you don't need to ask me. Ask the people who are coming to visit Israel. Okay? I think that everybody who came to visit Israel saw that, felt that, spoke about this. Where is now? I don't see all of you together now, but go for a moment to speak with Angelica, speak with whatever you want to speak, right, Angelica? You will say this. You can, but it's not only Angelica, right? You can say.
Yeah.
Yes. We know that people who are coming to Israel, they're speaking about a different spiritual environment in Israel, especially when they're coming towards Jerusalem and towards the place of the Temple Mount. Fair enough. And this is why we need different, I'll call it angels, to treat each place. It's different levels of things. Fair enough. This is the first explanation. But there are 2 more explanations. I will say 2 of them by heart, and then we're going to learn a midrash, a very important midrash. One is speaking about the angels that are going up to heaven and coming back here, is related to the priest, the Kohanim, in the place of the Temple Mount. You know that there was also the altar there, where they gave all the sacrifice, and the altar was high, and the Kohanim, the priest, they took the sacrifice that they slaughtered in the ground, and they brought it, okay, towards God. And then they went back. So we have the angels who are going up to the altar and going down from the altar. Yes. So we have angels, the people of God, who are close to God, who are going up and down, just like but we need to understand, the Midrash, when the Midrash is saying this, the Midrash is trying to say to us, there is a place where you can have relation with God. Because what exactly is a sacrificing to God? Basically, it's like someone who is saying to himself, the truth is, I did a mistake, I did a sin, I did something, and I want to repair, I want to do redemption, I want to do repentance for the bad things that I did. And the truth is, just like with Isaac, that God was supposed to take me. Okay, I did the sin, God was supposed to take me to him back. Now, instead of me, I'm giving the heart of the cow, and the legs of the cow instead of my legs, and the hands of the cow instead of my hands, and I'm sacrificing this instead of me, and because God wants me to stay alive. This is what we saw with Isaac and Abraham. So we have here some sort of a connection with God. You're managing to restore the connection. Think about this for a moment. When someone did a mistake, a sin, and he got far from God, now when he is sacrificing in front of God, he's getting close back to God. Okay, he's getting connected with God again. Now, if you will take a rope, okay, and you will cut it to two, and then you will try to connect them together by tying them together, the most, I will say, strengthened place of the rope will be the place where you tie them together, right? This is a physical of life. Those very simple things. So this is a place where you're getting the most tied back with God. This is what the Midrash is trying to explain to us, or to say to us. This is what Jacob saw. Jacob saw that this is a place where you will build up the Temple Mount, where the temple, it's called the Temple Mount because of the possibility of sacrificing to God, and basically to do the full repentance in front of God and get connected back with God. So this is a place where the angels, the priests, are going up and down, and you managing to get back with God. Wow, this is so frightening place. Amazing, God is here. Wow. So this is one explanation. Another explanation, I hinted this last week, and I think that we saw that, the word sulam in Hebrew is on the same value. You know that each letter also have a value of numbers. And the word sulam in Hebrew is on the same value of the word Mount Sinai. And when we're saying angels going up and down, it's Moses who went up to heaven, brought the Torah, and went down. So he first went up and then he went down. But he is managing to bring to us in our world the way of life, how to bring God to be existence in this world. And this is what Jacob is saying. Wow, God will be in this world. Wow, it's a frightening place. It's amazing. You can bring this place to a holy place. How? Because of this angel, Moses, went up and went down. Now, those two explanations that I gave here are related, I will call it, with a religious side. Let's call it religious side, even though it's speaking about all of the nation, okay? You can't build up a temple for yourself. You need to have it through the Hebrew nation. You can't, no one can do all the 613 commandments, okay? Some of us are Israelites, some of us Kohanim priests. By the way, we are on the internet. A few days ago, my daughter gave birth, okay? Thank God. And and I have another grandson. But he is a very unique one because he is a Kohen, okay? She is married with a Kohen. And now I have a grandson, even though I'm an Israelite, I have a grandson who is a Kohen, priest. Okay, so now when we're going to build up the Temple Mount very soon, I have someone there, my grandson, that will help me, and all of you also. It's okay. So what I'm saying, it's really exciting because the main thing of Hanukkah was had been done with the Kohanim. The Kohanim did it. Okay, it was a fight that the Kohanim did, the priest did. Oh, fair enough. But those two things that we're speaking about, basically they are, I will call it, on the religious side, even though it's speaking still on the nation side. You can't build up the Temple Mount by yourself. You need to have the nation that will decide to build up the Temple Mount, and you can't do all this, not the sacrifice, and also not the mitzvot, the commandments of the Torah, only with yourself. You need to have the nation to do this together. Fair enough. But I want to learn now another midrash that is explaining what exactly Jacob saw. So if we spoke in the beginning something on a spiritual level, this is the individual side. Remember that we have 3 levels, okay? The individual side, the nation side, and there is also something that is related to all of the world. So we explained in the individual side with the angels who are going together with Jacob. This is the individual side of his specific level, I will call it a spiritual level. And you have different angels who are joining him in his level. Then we spoke about the nation side. You can't build up the Temple Mount or to do all the 630 commandments. You need to have the relationship with others in the nation to do all the commandments. Now I want to speak about another way, or another, I will call it a explanation of those angels going up and down that is related to all of the world. And this is an historical way. So please go with me and let's read this midrash. It's not an easy one, but let's read it step by step. It will be easy to understand, and then we will explain this a bit more in a profound way. So here it is. This is a midrash, okay? Just a moment. Okay, please. Rabbi Nachman opened, and he said, please.
Rabbi Nachman opened his discourse, and you have no fear, my servant Yaakov, is speaking about Yaakov as it is written in Genesis 28:12. He had a dream, a stairway was set on the ground. Rabbi Shmuel Bar Nachman said, these angels that Yaakov saw in a dream are the ministering angels of the nations of the world. For Rabbi Shmuel Bar Nachman said, it teaches that the Holy One, blessed be He, showed Yaakov our father the ministering angel of Babylonia. Sorry, I lost my spot when you scrolled it. The ministering angel of Babylonia ascend 70 rungs, of Media 35 rungs, of Greece 180 rungs, of Edom he saw ascend and did not know how many. At that time Yaakov our father feared. He said, is it possible that this one has no descent? The Holy One, blessed be He, said, and you have no fear, my servant Yaakov. Even if he comes up and sits with me, I will bring him down from there. This is the understanding of that which is written from Obadiah 1:4. Should you nest as high as the eagle should, your eyrie be lodged among the stars, even from there I will pull you down. Rabbi,
This is enough.
Rabbi, what part of the Gemara is that?
No, it's not a Gemara, okay? It's called a
midrash.
It's a midrash, okay? Vayikra Rabba. It's called Vayikra Rabba. I don't know if they're writing down. No. It's called Vayikra Rabba. It's a midrash, and but basically what the midrash is saying, that what God showed him is the history of the world, and the history of the world is not related only to the Hebrew nation. The history of the world is related to all of the nations.
Is there a number with Vayikra Rabba? Is it a
29.
99?
29.
29. Thank you.
Kaftet, 29, and it's 29, if you want me to be, 29 too, okay? This is how it's called, 29 too. And basically, now we're giving a third explanation for this ladder and why the angels are first going up and then going down. And we know in the Hebrew tradition that we had, the cycle of this world had 4, I will call it empires that controlled all of the world. After we passed the Egyptians one, okay? After the Egyptians one. So we had, first of all, and this is what God is showing him, okay? And it's written down. You have no fear. So we have some sort of a fear that Jacob is having here, and we need to understand the fear. And he dreamed, what he dreamed, a stairway that was set on the ground, and he saw angels. So those angels that Yaakov, here in this midrash, is saying that he dreamed them, is the ministries angels of the nations. I said it in the beginning, okay? Now that Argentina won this World Cup, okay, and everybody is admiring Messi for that he is one. But basically, this is some sort of, I will call it the angel of this nation that they all gathered around it. So you can say, no, it's only a football game or something like that. It's something much more deeper that everybody got around it. And it's the same thing. You saw this, again, I'm saying, you saw this with the Moroccan people, okay, who managed to come so high, and they felt, like very proud, and also the Arabs felt very proud, and the African people felt very proud. It's something there that it's much more deeper to this thing. And you have also on the same level, 4 angels, where you're saying there are 4 different nations in this world who manage to control the full world. Okay, so it starts with the Babylons, right? The Babylon is the first one, and they controlled the world for 70 years. So he saw them that he is going on the ladder 70 rungs. Then he saw the Media one. Media is how do you call it? Is the Greece. Sorry. Okay. The Greece went 100, how much? 190 years rungs. This is Greece. This is who we found. This is the Greece is the thing that we have in Hanukkah. The Media is what we call Madai. Okay. There were only 35 year rungs. And the Greece 180, but the most hardest one is the last one. The last one is where the Hebrew nation went to an exile for how long? How long? Almost 2,000 years. And what Jacob is seeing there, and again, who is the representative of this, I will call a modern world that we have today? Esau, his brother. Okay? Edom is Esau. And he saw them going up, but not 32 or 35, not 180, not 70. He's going up 2,000 years, 1,900 years, okay? He's going up, he's going up, he's going up, he's going up, he's going up. That's it. He's never going down. And this is where Jacob was with a big fear. Something he is not. Do I have, this is what Jacob is asking himself, do I have, will I see him also going down? So Jacob had a lot of fear. This is what we see in Jeremiah, that Jacob have a fear. Will I see him going down? Now, look for a moment, what is the answer of God? God is not answering him, you will see him going down. God is answering something that is very frightening. He's saying to him, even if you will sit next to me, at the end, I will take him down. What is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is that Jacob saw the right thing, that Esau, okay, or this Christian philosophy, the modern world is going to go very high until it's going to sit down next to God. And Jacob needs to have the possibility, I'll call it like that, to change himself from Jacob to Israel, and then he will manage to come back to this world and to give a fight. And then God will help him to take him down. This is what is being, this explanation of the ladder, that first they're going up and then they're going down. But what we see here is an explanation of the history of the world. It's not related only to the individual spiritual side, okay, of Jacob, with the angels who are going with him up and down. It is not explaining all sorts of the nation side, building up the Temple Mount, seeing or getting the 10 Commandments in the Mount Sinai for the Hebrew nation. It's not speaking only on this level. It's speaking about the level of the world, how the world is going to function in this world. But at the end, Jacob is going to change his name from Jacob to Israel and have the possibility to take down this angel. Now, a very important point that we must mention is that Esau, who is managing to go up and sit down next to God, his head is also in the tomb of our patriarch Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? When you say that, what you're saying basically is that just a moment. What is this? Sorry. When you say that, basically what you're saying is that in the history of the world, there is also something very important that the modern world, that the Edom world, that the Esav is going to give to this world. And this is what we're saying all the time. The fight that we had in Hanukkah, in this time, it wasn't that we said that you're not allowed to use your brain. What we said is that you need to use your brain, but don't take your brain as this is God. The brain is only part of this world. There's also God who is above this world. And Esav is taking the brain. The problem is that they tried, especially the people of the Greeks, the old Greeks, they tried to say that this is the only side of this world, or this is the only thing that we can adjust the world with this. This is the only measurement that we can use for this, how to behave in this world. And Esav is managing to bring to this world something, and what we need to do is to bring the holiness side of this. And this is what Jacob is saying, okay, when he's waking up. He's saying, I did it. But I did it already, okay?
So?
Here it is, it's muted. This is exactly what Jacob is managing. Just a moment, we can hide this, so we much easier. This is exactly after he is seeing this ladder, okay, when he is seeing this connection between this world and God, and he is seeing also how God is controlling the world and have a structure of the history of the world. In a moment, I'm going to show this structure already in the first verse of the Bible, or in the second verse of the Bible. This is where Jacob is awakened from his sleep, and he's saying, indeed, God is in this place, and I didn't know, and he was frightened. Again, you see, it's not the Midrash is reading very carefully the words. Vayira, okay, he was frightened, and he said, this is a place of God, and we will manage to bring it here. And this in Jerusalem is the place of the gate of heaven, to bring to this world the holiness and to behave in the right way. This is what Jacob, I will say it like that, this is his dream to this world. This is what he wants to bring to this world. This is his mission in this world. Not for himself, as we said, okay? It's related to all of his art, how do you call it again? All of his family, okay? We said, stone, father and son. All of this nation, the Hebrew nation, is going to bring this mission to this world, not for themselves only, okay? To all of the families of the earth. Now we have a dream. We're starting to realize that this dream is on the personal level, on the nation level, and on the whole world level. And we're managing to realize what Jacob wants to achieve in this world. Question still here. Is everything clear? I was clear enough. Collins, good to see you. Long time no see. Yes, Collins.
Thank you.
Yes, Charles also. Yeah, Charles. He's sitting there also next to Messi, I see, with this background. Copacabana. Is everything clear with the things that we said now, till now? It is true. A lot of things. It's not a coincidence that in the 12th century, I think, if I remember correctly, there was a very big decision, I'll call it like that, and that's that the Christians are not allowed to learn what they call the Old Testament, because when you're learning the Old Testament, even if you're just reading it, you're starting to see that a lot of things are not going along with the new one. Okay, I wanted to show for a moment another thing. So it's not being, it's also a midrash. Maybe I need to find a midrash, but let me share for a moment the screen. Let me share the screen for a moment. On the second verse of do you see the screen? Do you see my, yes, you see the screen, fair enough. On the second verse, okay? And Dan is going to read the second verse, but before Dan is going to read it, I'm asking you to try to figure out how many obstacles do we have in this second verse, okay? How many obstacles do we have? Please, Dan, read verse number 2.
2. Now the earth was astonishingly empty, and darkness was on the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the water.
So we have the earth and we have the water, right? Earth and water, we have, it's something, that I would call it, it's being already built up in the first verse, right? Heavens and earth, maybe earth, water here, we don't know exactly from where the water came. And how many things do we have? We have the emptiness, number 1, right? Darkness, number 2, okay? And then we have also a deep, face of the deep, right? It's a very big, deep hole. And astonishing, okay? This is also astonishingly, emptiness, darkness, and deep. You see again, we have here 4. You see this 4 that we have?
Rabbi, I don't understand your question.
We have here 4 on the earth and on the water. We have 4 things that are very frightening things, or very hard things.
How about the Spirit of God?
Sorry?
The
Spirit of God,
yeah.
Spirit of God is something good. Spirit of God is something that we can relate with, and it's giving us a bit of comfort, that we're feeling good. Spirit of God. Oh, who doesn't want to get related with Spirit of God? But astonishingly, an emptiness, darkness. Oh, so not in the Hebrew. Tohu, vavohu. In the Hebrew, you have 2. This is why it took me time to realize what's written down here. In the Hebrew, you have 2. You have tohu and bohu, and choshech, and also tehom. You have 4 things. Tehom is the deep, okay? When you're standing on a cliff, and it's very deep, you don't want to fall down. This is the tehom, the deep, okay? The darkness, I don't need to explain. And in Hanukkah, one of the things that we've learned, that a very small candle of light is managing to defeat a lot of darkness. But the darkness is very hard, right? Fair enough. In the Hebrew, you have tohu vavohu, astonishingly, and deep, emptiness, okay? You have 2 things. Our sages are saying again, you see there are 4 things here, 4 things. So you have here these, exactly the 4 that we spoke before, okay? And the same midrash. We have 4, so the same thing. It says here in the midrash 4 things, right? The Babylon, Media, Greece, and Edom. So they're saying they're the same things. You have here the same things. And what is the thing that will bring us blessing at the end? Spirit of God, this is the spirit of the Messiah. After the 4 empires that will control this world. This is what the Midrash is saying. So at the beginning of the world, we have already the structure of history. The history is not for the Hebrew nation. The history is for all of the world. Yeah, because it's related also to the things that we see. If you want, I can try to find it for a moment not in the Midrash Rabbah. It's not Vayikra, but it's Bereshit Rabbah. Just a moment, let me see. Let me see if I'm finding it here. As a moment, it's supposed to be. It's in the beginning of the Bereshit Rabbah. Just a moment. There are a lot of midrashim here. Just a moment. No, they're very good ones. We're not going to learn the midrash now, okay? But we're going to see not this one. Rish Lakish, just a moment. We'll find it. Starts with the Torah. We'll find it. Just a moment. Give me a moment, please. Oh, it is. It is. Oh. Here it is. Rabbi Abahu and Rabbi Chia Rabbah. Those are the two great rabbis who were living in Israel. Okay, they also have a very great midrash about the redemption of the Hebrew nation. One of the biggest midrash about the redemption of the Hebrew nation. Okay.
Did you want me to read it, Rabbi?
Yes. Now you need to read it.
Okay, from the beginning of the creation of the world, the Holy One saw the actions of the righteous and the actions of the wicked. This is what it...
Just a moment, it's not the... I
toward the bottom of it.
No, I don't believe it. Just a moment. They didn't translate this one. Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish. He's speaking about... they didn't translate it. I'm amazed. Just a moment. Let me see if they did it before.
Yeah, the son of Simon there interpreted this reading as applying to generations. And the earth was formless and void. Tohu vavohu. This is Adam the first, since he was made entirely into nothing. And void, vavahu. This is Cain who...
No. This is not, believe me. Here it is. We have it only in Hebrew. I don't know why. Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish patar kra bekarliot. He's speaking about the exiles of the Hebrew nation. The Arab said, Tohu ze galut Bavel. You see, Bavel. So the word Tohu is related with Babylon. And you have a verse that is explaining it. Vavohu, this is the next word. Okay, זה גלות מדי, the Medanian, okay, Choshech, the third word, זה גלות יוון, the Greeks, and it's explaining here, it's bringing it a lot in Chanukah. Al pnei tehom is the first word, okay, so the deep. This is no, I understand. It's related to the Esau, okay, to the Edom. So we have here also, again, it's amazing that they didn't translate these parts. It's interesting. Fair enough. Okay. This is Bereshit Rabbah number 2. Okay, you see here, bet it's 2. Okay, it's Bereshit Rabbah number 2. You can find it. So we have here, again, we said it already more than once. We have here this situation of the history of the world, that it's already starting from the beginning, from the second verse that we have, and the redemption of the world is that God is going to bring the Messiah, okay, that God have this Spirit of God or the Spirit of the Messiah in this world, that it's like a seed that will grow up and will manage to bring the world to the right place of, I would call it bring the world to redemption. And this, Jacob saw this with the ladder, but basically we have it already from the second verse of the Bible. The first verse is that God created everything and he's controlling everything. But when we're looking today it's much easier for us. I said it more than once from the times that we've learned. I don't know exactly how my grandfather and his father had the strength to stand in front of the world and to stay, I will say it, in the Jewish tradition. Because what they saw was already 1900 years of an exile. And they didn't saw any sign that everything is going to change. The Turkish people were here for 400 years. They never accepted to give to the Hebrew nation a space here, to live here or something like that, to do redemption. Herzl, okay, the guy that went around the world and tried very much to organize for us a place to live in this world. Nobody gave him a place, not the German, how did you call them? Not the German person who was in charge. Nobody gave him. But they were sure that, the fulfillment of the prophecies that the Hebrew nation will come back, it will happen. Okay, after the First World War, suddenly it happened. Again, by the way, it's also a miracle that the part that got, I will call it, that controlled this place was the English people and not the French people, because the French would never have been accepted this idea of giving, the mandatory situation for the Hebrew nation, because they're very religious, the French people. While the English were also religious, but they also have, we'll call it a Balfour, okay? The Lord Balfour, he was, they had a lot of discussions there inside the parliament, but at the end, they had also the decision that it's only a mandatory situation to give the Hebrew people to go back to their homeland. Thank you very much for that, Angela and Mike. You are representing them here in this room. Very nice. Even though you don't know how to speak English, remember that. So, so we have, this is life, England people. You're still welcome to come also to Prague, So we have this situation that the world have a structure, how the history of the world is going to work. And this is what Jacob is also saying in this ladder. So this is why they're going up and down. First they're going up and then they're going down. But at the end, who is going to lead this world? God has this chimney. He is not, he doesn't allow his dream to go out from this world. So let's go back to another, I will call it. Shmuel is here. Sorry. When did you come inside?
No, it's fine. Perfect. My
I will
pleasure.
say only one last word, okay, in the beginning of this, and then Rabbi Shmuel will say a few words. I'm inviting Rabbi Shmuel to speak here in front of all of us. It says that at the beginning of this, of the creation of the world, God created heaven and earth, okay? And the word heaven in Hebrew, Shamayim, is the word there, but in that everybody, okay, for not for a person, or for the masses of the people. Everybody have their vision there. And God created the vision for everybody. And all of us together, God is not going to throw out his vision. And his vision is that we will restore back all of us together to be families and related one with each other. I explained a lot for this for tonight. Rabbi Shmuel, you have 10 minutes, please. Give us
My great pleasure. I'd like to continue from where you had spoken, Rabbi, about place and venue. I think to a large extent, that's part of what we encounter as well. First of all, good evening and good afternoon, whatever the time is, wherever you are situated at this moment in time. And it's quite impressive that since the world internationally was involved in something else this afternoon, it's nice to see that you're involved in something of meaning. I want to say something actually about that itself. You know what? It's a little bit of change of what the rabbi is talking about. I think it's important also. We have a tendency to belittle the idea that people were involved in paganism in the past. And there is such a tremendous battle of Judaism, and not only, but particularly against paganism, and rightfully so. But to understand, these people were searching for some religious experience. They were just doing it in the wrong direction. And many people today in our 21st century think that this is such a far-fetched idea. And these people were, so to speak, so exactly, they were primitive and way off. And you think about 22 people kicking a ball and getting 3 billion people listening to them for an entire month. You know, is that the search for something of a more higher standard of development and understanding in life? At least this so-called, as you said, beautifully primitive idea was soul searching one way or the other, but taking it in the wrong direction. That's why the Bible had such so to be preoccupied in trying to tackle and to handle this kind of thing and say, well, listen, when you're talking about how to emerge into life of religion and search for God, you have to do it in the right way. That's a much more challenging experience. You don't need to give a lot of guidance whether you kick the ball like in South America or in France. It's something which needs a lot more training when trying to understand the relationship of a person with God. And as the rabbi mentioned, one of the challenges here is to try to make that religious experience most meaningful in a very specific holy land. And in this respect, I'm quite serious that there is a definite difference between an international experience or competition, whatever you'd like want to call it, and trying to define a very specific venue in the world where God's presence is most obvious and most and the greatest of a blessing. And this was something that had to go through a process of time. Part of what actually occurs in the book of Genesis is indeed that journey towards finding a place on the face of the earth that the divine presence will be of the most important experience, something that wasn't taken for granted otherwise. And there was somewhat of an attempt. There's a beautiful concept found in the Talmud, as it were, that the deluge, the flood, did not occur in Palestine. And on the one hand, it's sort of like saying, well, the curse that the world encountered did not occur over here, but that also means that there is a mission. In what sense of the word? The sense is that after the flood actually occurred, there was a rainbow, as you recall, and that rainbow was basically a covenant related to Noah itself, and saying, you know, despite the fact that there are people out there in the world who are not actually living a life of proper decency and morality, I will keep the world in sustenance anyhow. That's true about 99% of the world. And indeed, after World War II, despite the fact that 60 million people of the world were wiped out, 10% of them Jewish, and the evergreen forests of Europe still look amazing. The rain continues to come there all the time. That hasn't changed at all. But there's one country that since the flood did not occur over there, the conditions of what a decent person is something that is totally dependent on us. That hasn't changed even now. That's why such a central part of the Jewish faith is prayer for rain, which is not just what is being implied. Somebody tried to phone me, I had to block him off. Sorry. What is being implied in this case is that we here in the Holy Land there is a tremendous link between our behavior and whether or not there will be a blessing of sustenance. somewhat, Rabbi, I don't know where your feelings are, but we are already halfway through December, and the amount of rain this year is still less than it should be. We've had quite a few warm days in recent times, and I hope that things will change in the more positive sense, because in this country, the link between morality and blessing is something which is very central. So, as I'm saying, Toby, I want to bless you all in that sense. We have a mission to try to achieve, and that achieve is to try to have all peoples of the world facing towards God. And if you have that centricity of the Holy Land in your mindset, if you think about that here, the divine presence is available at all times, our constant level of reality has to be upgraded as a result. It'd be quite interesting to see if the whole world for an entire month was basically off focus. What's going to happen tomorrow morning when the world has to start to wake up again and to begin? Will there be any shape up, any improvement in world behavior? I'm not too convinced about that. But when you're looking for soul searching, when you're looking for a connection with God, and that seems to be an international message, then you know that you have penetrated forward. Then you know that people are responding to you. Then you know that we are in a development, in a state of growth. There we can see, and if you want, in the Hebrew portion of this coming week, Miketz, we're in the course of a dream. Joseph is trying to actually accomplish a dream. We have a dream which he was, by the way, the biggest father of the idea, is to bring the entire world to encounter God. And the festival of Hanukkah, which begins this evening here in Israel and all over the world later on this evening, is basically showing that in every private home, in every central, in every city central, there is an option of relating to God, that we can kindle our hearts, we can lighten our feelings, and feeling that continuous relationship with God. After they stop kicking the ball, it's about time to take the light, inspire everybody with the divine blessing, and hopefully we should see a successful winter, a successful sustenance this year, and that we won't always need a rainbow just to help us out. We will be worthy of our own right for the divine blessing. That's the type of blessing I would like to share with you. I'm not following directly in the message of Rabbi Chaim, but I'm trying to complement a different element, which I think is most relevant this evening, this week, and a message which is very Jewish by definition, together with our link to the Holy Land, where that centricity is most obvious. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome.
I think you shocked them. First of all, thank you very much for this message. I think everybody is shocked for everything that we've spoke tonight, and also by the things that you said. Thank you very much for this unique blessing. And you're more than right. We started with this question about the value of this competition of the World Cup. And what exactly is the message for us? So except for being
3 billion people, 22 people kicking a ball, keep the whole world busy for an entire month. I was trying to comprehend the idea. How does it work? That's what happened. Quite amazing.
It is. Fair enough. People, do you have any question or something like that? Everybody's very silent tonight. Everything is fine. Oh, yes.
Does
Yes,
anybody
it's
else have
okay.
any questions?
Okay, good to see you all. Have a blessing week. Happy Hanukkah. You can light candles. It's okay. You can
And
light them
happy
every
Hanukkah
night.
to you, Rabbi, and to all Israel. Hope they have a wonderful, wonderful week. And are we aiming for next Sunday, Rabbi?
Yes,
Tentative?
yes.
God willing.
Yes.
God
hopefully,
willing.
yes.
Okay, so we're aiming for next Sunday also, folks. Catch the Torah wave. We look forward to more of this class. I really enjoyed today's lesson. Picked up some missing pieces that I had never heard in depth before, and we hope you got something good out of it as well. And we'll see you all next week. Have a blessed week. Happy Hanukkah to everybody. Bye for now.
Bye, everybody.